We live on a blue planet, but the truth is we know less about the depths of our own ocean than about the surface of Mars. It's crazy, isn't it? Many of us grew up with the idea that the ocean floor is a peaceful place, perhaps with some colorful little fish and vibrant corals. But what if I told you that this is one of the biggest lies we've been told? Prepare to have your mind blown, because what's hidden 11,034 meters deep isn't just terrifying, it's something that defies the very logic of life and death, and something that science has long preferred to keep secret. Believe it or not, most people can't even imagine the pressure that exists down there. A place where water behaves like a solid object, capable of crushing anything in seconds. It's such an extreme environment that, if you were there unprotected, you would be incinerated and pulverized before you even blinked. But the most shocking thing isn't the brute force of nature, but the fact that even in this inferno, life finds a way to thrive, to adapt in ways that seem straight out of a science fiction movie. You are about to discover secrets that few know, and that will forever change your view of our planet and the resilience of life. What if I told you that the true terror of the depths isn't giant sea monsters, but something much closer and more disturbing, something we ourselves have sent there? Yes, the truth is that the abyss hides biological anomalies, geological phenomena that defy science, and sounds that are the very groans of the planet. But amidst all this, there's a revelation that will make you question the future of humanity and the impact we are having on places we can't even visit. Stay with me, because what you're going to learn today isn't just a curiosity. It's knowledge that can give you a new perspective on life and the universe. When we think of the ocean floor, the image that comes to mind is of a serene, perhaps even somewhat monotonous place, isn't it? But allow me to demystify that vision. The Mariana Trench, especially the Challenger Deep, is a place that defies human understanding and the laws of physics we learned in school. Imagine that, at 11,034 meters deep, the water is no longer the malleable liquid we know. It transforms into an overwhelming force, a gigantic hydraulic press, capable of pulverizing anything that dares to invade its domain. It's such a hostile environment that, if you could be there unprotected, the pressure would be equivalent to having 50 jumbo jets piled on top of you, not just on your body, but on every millimeter of your being, in a way that the mind can barely process. This colossal pressure is not just an impressive number, it is an insurmountable barrier for most life forms and for human technology. Engineers who are masters at understanding limits and resistances nurture an almost reverential respect for this zone. They know that water relentlessly seeks any flaw, any breach. If a submersible, however robust, has its hull compromised, even by a tiny hole like that of a needle, the outcome is instantaneous and brutal. There would be no time for drowning. The water would flood the cabin at supersonic speed, compressing the air to the point of raising it to the temperature of the sun's surface for a fraction of a second. The person would be incinerated and crushed before their brain even registered the sound of the metal breaking. It is a scenario bordering on the unimaginable, but it is the pure and cold reality of the depths. So we realize that we are facing a place where nature manifests itself as an annihilation machine, an environment that seems to have been designed to destroy any intruder. It is precisely this extreme hostility that makes it so fascinating to us, curious beings by nature. Because even with all this overwhelming and lethal force, when scientists turn on the lights of their equipment down there, something stares back at them. It's as if life, in some mysterious way, finds a way to defy death, to laugh in the face of the impossible. And this is the great question that propels us to the next point in our journey. How does something manage to survive and even thrive in this aquatic hell? It's impressive, isn't it? The most basic logic would tell us that biology simply couldn't function in a place like that. Think for a moment. Our own bones would be shattered, and proteins, the fundamental building blocks of all life, would be compressed and unwound like a boiled egg, becoming inoperable. It would be the end of the line for any form of life we know or even imagine. However, believe it or not, when the lights of the submersibles come on down there, something stares back at them. And the most disconcerting thing is the Mariana snailfish, the creature that lives at the greatest depth ever discovered, living proof that life finds a way, even in hell. This fish is a true anomaly, a walking paradox. It appears fragile, has no scales, and its skin is a thin, gelatinous, almost transparent layer. It's like a raw chicken breast floating in total darkness, defying all our understanding of resilience and survival. The big question that arises is, how does it manage to survive with the equivalent of a school bus on its chest without being crushed? The answer lies in a veritable internal chemical war. These creatures are full of a compound called trimethylamine oxide. Think of this compound as a molecular superhero, a chemical support that surrounds the proteins inside the fish's body and physically prevents them from collapsing under the crushing pressure. It's as if the fish's internal chemistry reacts with an equal and opposite force, making it simply not feel the weight. But this incredible adaptation, however ingenious, creates a rather peculiar paradox. Because they are so specialized for the depths, these fish are in fact trapped there. If you tried to bring a snailfish to the surface, the absence of pressure would cause its cells to expand and rupture. It would literally melt, disintegrate before your eyes. They are true ghosts, creatures that can only exist in the infernal environment that created them. And there's more. Scientists have calculated that there is an absolute limit. At around 8,400 meters, the amount of trimethylamine oxide needed to survive becomes toxic. The fish would become saltier than the ocean itself. This is the theoretical death limit for fish, the line below which complex life forms with skeletons simply cannot exist. But is it really? This is where things get really intriguing, and the mystery deepens in a way that challenges everything we've just learned. If we establish that fish or any animal with bones cannot survive at the deepest point in the ocean, they would simply collapse biologically, right? Then the bottom of the Challenger Deep should be a still place, an untouched layer of dust, with no apparent life. But guess what? It's not. When explorers look at the seabed, they see scars, long winding furrows cutting through the mud. Some are small, almost imperceptible, but others are wide, deliberate trails. This means one thing: something is crawling in the darkness. And if fish can't be there, what is leaving these footprints? The answer to this enigma is a phenomenon that scientists call radial gigantism, and it turns our notions of size and proportion upside down. Think about it. On the surface, an amphipod, which is basically a sea flea, is the size of a grain of rice, something tiny and almost insignificant. But down here in the crushing depths, the rules are dramatically reversed. Without a rigid skeleton to limit their growth, and with high levels of oxygen in the water, these fleas transform into veritable monsters. Learn more about Alicella gigantea, the giant super amphipod. They don't stop at the size of a common insect, no. They grow to the size of a rabbit, and some even reach the size of a human foot. These are the true tanks of the radar zone. They are creatures with soft, armored bodies that act like ocean vacuums crawling along the bottom in search of food. Those mysterious trails that scientists find are actually the sound, or rather the trail, of a 25-centimeter insect dragging its heavy body through the mud, hunting anything that falls from above. It's a terrifying thought, isn't it? The pressure is too great for a shark, but it's perfect for an insect the size of a cat. And the scariest thing is that they are not alone. What else lurks in these depths, defying logic and our imagination, and preparing us for the next, even more shocking revelation? Now prepare for a plot twist that will challenge your perception of what's possible. We always assume the ocean floor is a freezing place, right? And most of the time, you'd be absolutely right. But the Mariana Trench is a geological scar, a point of violent friction where the Pacific tectonic plate is being pushed beneath the Philippine plate. This friction generates immense heat, an energy that transforms what should be an icy abyss into something completely different. Just north of the trench, explorers made a discovery that seems to have come from another planet, an underwater lake, but not a lake of water. It's a pool of molten sulfur. Imagine the scene. This pool bubbles, releases steam, and reaches temperatures of 180 degrees Celsius. On the surface, this sulfur would dry out and turn into a solid, harmless yellow rock. But down here, the pressure is so intense that it forces the sulfur to remain liquid, creating a cauldron of pure toxicity. If a submarine got too close, the acid would corrode the hull in a matter of minutes. It's an environment that, for us, is synonymous with instant death. And yet, the cameras recorded flounders swimming just centimeters above it, completely indifferent to the poison, as if they were in a water park. It's enough to make anyone's jaw drop, isn't it? This observation, however bizarre it may seem, leads us to one of the most disturbing and fascinating theories in modern oceanography. Many scientists now believe that life on Earth did not begin in a warm, sunny, tropical lagoon, as we have always imagined. No, the frightening implication is that life may have begun here in this kind of extreme environment. It wouldn't need the sun, it wouldn't need pure air. It would only need heat, pressure, and poison. The radial zone, then, would not be a tomb, a place of death and desolation, but rather a womb, the primordial cradle of all life as we know it. It's an idea that turns our cosmogony upside down and makes us question everything we know about the origin of existence and prepares us for the last and most impactful revelation. Now, imagine yourself standing at the bottom of the Challenger Deep, 11,034 meters deep. If you turned off the engines of your submersible, what would you expect to hear? Absolute silence, right? After all, it's the most isolated and inhospitable place on the planet. But the truth is much more frightening. You would hear the earth screaming. Water is an incredible conductor of sound. Sound travels 5 times faster in water than in air. And at great depths, physics creates something called a sulfur channel, which acts like a fiber optic cable for sound. Sound waves get trapped in this layer and travel for thousands of kilometers without losing energy. It's as if the ocean were a gigantic natural amplifier, capturing every murmur of the planet. When scientists drop hydrophones into the trench, the recordings are an auditory nightmare. They hear the friction of tectonic plates, a sound like heavy machinery being dragged across concrete, a constant groan of the Earth's crust. They hear earthquakes in Japan, rippling through the water like a distant bell, a warning of uncontrollable forces. And in the 1990s, they captured a sound so loud and so organic that researchers feared it was a gigantic animal, a leviathan from the depths. Today, we know it was an icequake, a glacier breaking apart thousands of kilometers away. But that's the point. The trench is a funnel. It collects the groans and sounds of the entire planet, transforming what should be silence into a terrifying and constant chorus. But while we were busy listening to these sonic monsters, we missed the real invasion, the age of plastic. In 2019, explorer Victor Vescovo broke the record, piloting a submersible deeper than anyone in history, searching for the unknown. And what did he see out the window? Not a megalodon, not an alien base. He saw a candy wrapper. Let that sink in. There's a depth where the pressure can turn a human lung into plastic, and we've found real plastic there. Subsequent expeditions confirmed it. Plastic bags, microfibers. When they captured amphipods, those scavengers that live in the most isolated place on Earth, and dissected them, 100% of them had plastic in their stomachs. The real horror of the abyss isn't that it's hostile, it's that it's no longer wild. We've managed to pollute a place we can barely visit. The mystery of the depths isn't about what's coming to get us. It's about what we're sending there to kill it. So after diving into these unbelievable depths, the big question that remains is, what will you do with this knowledge? Let's be honest, life on the surface can seem challenging, but what if we applied the same resilience and adaptability we saw in the creatures of the abyss? How many times have you felt crushed by the pressure of daily life, by expectations, by problems, and thought about giving up? What the Mariana snailfish teaches us is that even in the most hostile environment, it's possible to find an internal chemistry to resist and thrive. Think about it. What is your particular trimethylamine oxide, your secret strength to face adversity? This journey through the radical zones shows us that the world is far more complex and mysterious than we imagine, and that life, in its most extreme forms, has powerful lessons to offer us. Are you ready to explore your own depths, to discover what truly exists within you that has yet to be explored? And more importantly, what are you sending into your own personal abyss? Are we polluting our minds with negative thoughts, with fears, with that which prevents us from growing? The time to change is now, to stop merely observing and begin to act, to transform your own reality. Don't settle for simply being a spectator of your own life. Use that curiosity that brought you this far to delve deeper into your own potential. What scares you more? The pressure of trying something new and failing, or the regret of never having tried? Think about the anomalies, the giants that emerge where you least expect them. You too can be a giant on your own journey. If you enjoyed unraveling these mysteries and want to continue exploring the greatest secrets of the world and yourself, don't waste time. subscribe to the channel, activate notifications, and come with me on this ongoing adventure of discovery. The next video could be the key to your next big leap.